to show you how to make a nutcracker out of old ribbon rolls. I'm always telling my followers, don't throw away your old ribbon rolls, save them. There's all kinds of fun things you can make with them, and this is one of them. All you need to do is save them as the ribbons are done on the rolls. Just save them in a little box, or what I'm using here is one of those Dollar Tree cubicles. So I'm just going to move over what I have on my desk here and pull over what I've already stacked. These are going to need to be sanded a little bit because there's glue where the paper is around the ribbon rolls, and that needs to get removed in order for them to lie um, perfectly one on top of the other and not have any gaps. So here I'm just going to take my little sanding block from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to sand off all the little glue and the little bits of paper. It's a quick process, but it's necessary for all of the ribbon rolls to lay flush one on top of the other. Once you have them all nice and sanded smoothly, you can start to kind of assemble the pieces loosely. It's kind of like assembling a puzzle. You have to find the pieces that are going to fit just right, and that takes a little doing, but once you have a game plan, you're good to go. Now, I wanted this nutcracker to be a tall soldier, and so I sanded a couple more pieces and set those aside. Now I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to use for the sides, for the arms of the soldier. So I'm just kind of playing around, like I said, puzzle pieces, really, just trying to figure out what would look best as some long arms. And eureka, looks like I have found some. So I'm going to set those aside, and I'm going to remove all of the other ones off of my desk so as not to get confused when assembling my nutcracker. Okay, let's get to getting. The first thing I'm going to do is apply a bead of hot glue around the whole perimeter of the ribbon roll so that I can attach it as flush as possible, followed by the next ribbon roll and then the next. So here you're seeing a total of 4 rather wide, maybe 3-inch, 2 to 3-inch ribbon rolls attached all together. Now these next 2 that I'm getting ready to attach are ever so slightly bigger than the other 4 below, and that's because that's going to be the hat of the nutcracker. It's got to be just a little bit bigger, and you'll see why later. So I'm going to attach that with the hot glue just like I did the other 4. And now to make those arms symmetrical. So I'm going to take these paper towel rolls and I'm just going to trim them up a little bit so that they're the same length. And now they'll be perfect for either side of the soldier. But here I decide I'm going to hold off on attaching the arms just yet because I am going to go ahead and start the painting process. I'm starting with kind of a royal blue on the bottom, and I'm just going all the way around. I don't tape it off or anything like that. I just go ahead and spin it around and give it a coat of the royal blue. And here I'm deciding that the top, that hat part, needs to be a little bit taller. So I'm going to go ahead and add just one more smallish ribbon roll to the top because I want it to be one of those tall, English soldiers' hats. that you might see guarding the gates of the palace. Now I'm going to go ahead and give it a coat of the same color blue as I did the bottom. The bottom is to represent the pants of the soldier, and the top is to represent, of course, the hat. And I'm going to go ahead and paint it 3 ribbon rolls down and stop right there. I decide to go ahead and paint the arms separately before I attach them to the body, simply because I don't want to have to be careful and not get paint on the body, which will be a different color. So I go ahead and give those a coat of the same blue. But I'm only going to paint the blue about an inch all the way around on both of the paper towel rolls, because that's going to be the cuff of the soldier's arm. Next, I'm going to go in with a bright Christmas red for the rest of the sleeve of the soldier. And I'm just going to take that all the way down. And I'm going to do it on both sleeves. Okay, now we're going to go in with that same Christmas red, and we are going to give it one coat all the way around, and that will be his jacket. Going to give it a quick dry with the heat tool. Then I'm going to go in with Fusion Mineral Paint in the color Casement, because it is highly pigmented and it will cover quickly the red. I just need to cover a little portion of that spot because that's going to be his face. So I give it one quick coat all the way around, and then I'm going to go back over it and just kind of give it a quick skim coat, just to make sure that we have good coverage. Once that's done, I apply the arms on the sides. And now you can kind of see where I'm going with this. It's starting to take shape. It's starting to look like a nutcracker. How cute. And now that it's good and dry, I'm going to go in with one more coat with the Fusion Mineral Paint and just kind of hit it with a lick and a promise. Not really even fully covering it for the second coat, just making sure it's got good coverage. Now I've got these pom-poms. They come on a rope. They're a garland, but they're red, white, and blue, and I've been using them for different crafts. I've disassembled it and used it for all different kinds of crafts. We're going to use this blue pom-pom for his shoulder in his uniform. And all I'm going to do is hit it with some hot glue, and I'm going to just stick it down in that shoulder. And you can see how cute that looks, right? He's got a little shoulder pad. Now I'm going to attach the second one with hot glue. And with each little element, he looks more and more like a real nutcracker. Okay, now it's time for the face. With black Fusion Mineral Paint and a thin brush, I'm going to paint him a handlebar mustache, just like that. And a little mouth. Nothing real fancy. 2 little dots for eyes. It's pretty simplistic, but you get the gist, and you can see that his face is coming to life. Now for the hands, I wanted to use the red pom-poms, but they seem to be smaller than the blue. So I decided I would put 2 of them together with hot glue, and then I would just stuff them up underneath that little paper towel roll and just let it kind of stick out a little bit. And I think it gives just the exact illusion of little hands sticking out. Now with a marker, Sharpie marker, I am going in and I am creating the illusion of pants. All it is one dark line straight down the center where the pants are. And then I take another marker and I go just around the edge in the front, and that gives the illusion of maybe a shoe. And there you have it. Now for the front of his vest or jacket, I'm going to use white satin ribbon in a crisscross pattern, just hot gluing the ends. And then I kind of shove it down beyond his arm or his sleeve with my scissor. And I do the same thing for the other side. So now he's getting really fancy. How cute. I know I keep saying it, but he is. Now for his buttons, we are going to use 3 little round wooden beads. And now I'm going to apply a little black satin ribbon for his belt, right around his midriff there where the 2 colors meet. And that's why I didn't really need to tape it off, because I knew that I was going to be covering that part up. Now we need some bling. You know, I am a Totally Dazzled ambassador. And so, of course, we're going to have some Totally Dazzled bling on this guy. He's a Christmas nutcracker, so we've got to make him fancy. So I'm just taking some Totally Dazzled bling wrap, and I'm going to cut it to size to go around his head or his hat. And I'm just going to apply it, right at the edge, all the way around with hot glue. That really dresses him up. Now I knew I wanted to put a large Totally Dazzled piece on the front where his hat is, but I knew that that piece would not stay there because it's so big and heavy. It needed a little something to hold on to. So I went ahead and put a little pom-pom right in the center of his hat, and I just let it completely cure and did some other things with the Nutcracker while that cured. Here I'm just cutting some more Totally Dazzled bling wrap, and I'm going to give him, just a little more pizzazz on his belt. And I'm going to make a strip that goes right down his sleeve. Just super simple. There's one sleeve and then the other. And all the while, that little pom-pom on his hat is curing and getting harder, so that when I go to put the concave big bling piece on there, it's not going to fall off because it doesn't have anything to hold on to. And I'm putting a little strip of bling right around that blue strip of his sleeve as well. I think that makes him look very fancy. Getting close to being done here. And now I'm going to add the final piece, and that is the Totally Dazzled bling, and it has a little dangle on it, and I just think it's perfect for this. It's very ornate and just screams Christmas to me. It's hard to believe these were simple throwaway ribbon rolls. That's why I say don't throw away your garbage. Keep your garbage. Now, the top of the hat is open, and you will see in my final pictures what I've done. But would you look at that fancy Totally Dazzled brooch? It's amazing, right? So I've got that fur in my hand there, and you're going to see in the end photos that I just couldn't resist adding a little bit of that fur on his hat. I think it needed it. It made him just a little bit more fancy. And here you're going to see how I've merchandised him in my home. There he is. I added that fur on top, and man, I just think it's perfect for this piece. He looks like he is a Russian soldier or something with that big fur hat. I love it. And he's a little like Elf on the Shelf in that he doesn't know where he wants to be. He moves around every Christmas. This year he's sitting under the Christmas tree guarding the gifts, and the next year he's on the mantle with the elf and the other Nutcracker. Never underestimate what you can do with a few old ribbon rolls. Merry Christmas, everyone.